hear the word blueberries, I think of blueberry muffins. Jasmine loves blueberry muffins. As for me, well, I'm a cookie girl. So I had to create my very own blueberry muffin cookie recipe. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Coming up next. Turtles Tasty Treats, where we make baking from scratch easy. I'm really excited to share with you my Blueberry Muffin Cookie Recipe. With a few ingredients, tons of blueberries, and a little time, you too can make this tasty treat. The ingredients that you will need for the cookie dough are 1 cup of unsalted butter, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 2 cups of blueberries. For the strudel topping, you would need 1/2 cup of melted butter, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. For our vanilla glaze, you would need 1 cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, 1 and 1 tablespoons of milk, and 1/2 tablespoon of corn syrup. To mix my ingredients up, I'll be using my KitchenAid stand mixer fixed with my paddle attachment, 2 large bowls, a whisk, and a spatula. Now, I'm going to set my oven to 375 degrees. We're going to start by adding the butter to our bowl. Now I'm going to add my cup of sugar, and I'm going to cream the butter and the sugar together. Let's mix it up. Taking my spatula, I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the sides of the bowl. I want to make sure all of the butter and sugar is well incorporated together. Don't forget the bottom. And let's mix it up. Next, we're going to add the eggs to our cookie dough. It's best to crack your egg into a separate bowl. That way, if you have a bad egg or a shell falls in, it doesn't mess up your cookie dough. It just falls into your separate bowl. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and put my 1 egg into my cookie dough batter, and I'm going to incorporate that 1 egg together. Let's mix it up. Egg number 2, we're going to do the exact same thing. Taking the second egg, placing it into our cookie dough, and we're going to mix it up. Now for our egg yolk. What we're going to do, crack open our egg, and we're going to let the egg white fall into our bowl, moving our egg yolk back and forth in our egg shell. Now that I just have my egg yolk, placing it into a separate bowl, and now I'm going to add that to my cookie dough. And now it's time to mix it up. Next, we're going to add the vanilla extract to our cookie dough mix. And you guessed it, we're going to mix it up. Taking my spatula again, I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the sides of my bowl. It's important to make sure that all of your ingredients is mixing up well together. Now it's time to add my baking soda, my baking powder, and my salt to my flour. Now my flour that I like to use is an unbleached all-purpose flour. Now taking my whisk, I'm going to go ahead and mix it up. Now when you're mixing it up, make sure that you fully incorporate your baking soda, baking powder, and salt into your flour. You don't want to take a bite of just baking soda by itself. Now I'm going to add my flour to my cookie dough mix a little bit at a time. Each time that I add my flour, I'm going to mix it up in between. Taking my spatula, I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the sides of my bowl one final time. And let's mix it up. Now I'm ready to remove all of my cookie dough off of my paddle. Now for the star of the show, the blueberries. In order to prepare them to go into my cookie dough, I'm going to take my freshly squeezed lemon juice and I'm going to pour it over our blueberries. Lemon juice kicks up the flavor of any fruit that you use. Taking a spatula, I'm going to go ahead and give it a toss into the lemon juice a few times. And now I'm ready to add the blueberries into my cookie dough. Are all mixed into my cookie dough. It's time for me to make the strudel. So taking my melted butter, I'm going to go ahead and add the granulated sugar to the melted butter. Taking my spatula, I'm going to go ahead and mix it up. Now that I've mixed up my sugar and my butter together, I'm going to go ahead and pour it into a larger bowl. Now I'm going to add the light brown sugar. And I'm going to mix it up. Now to add the vanilla. And mix it up. Adding the salt now. And let's mix it up. Last but not least, the flour will now be added. And let's mix it up. Taking my ice cream scoop, I'm going to go ahead and scoop out my cookie dough into my ice cream scoop. And I'm going to place it onto my parchment lined baking sheet about 2 inches apart. Now that all of my cookie dough is onto my parchment lined baking tray, I'm ready to add the strudel on top of each one of my cookie dough balls. I'm going to add about a half a tablespoon onto the tops of each one of my cookie dough balls. In order for my cookies to still remain flat while they bake in the oven, I'm going to place my thumb on top of each cookie dough ball. Now, in order for my cookies not to spread in the oven while they bake, I'm going to have my cookies chill for 20 minutes in the refrigerator. Now that my cookies have chilled in the refrigerator, I'm ready to bake them off for 9 minutes. I'm going to let them cool on the baking tray for 5 minutes. Now that my cookies have completely cooled, I'm ready to now make the vanilla glaze. So we're going to take my powdered sugar and I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my bowl. Now I'm going to add my milk to my bowl. And now I'm going to mix it up. Last but not least, my corn syrup will be added to my vanilla glaze. Taking my spatula, I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the sides of my bowl. I want to make sure that all of my ingredients is well incorporated together. Now I'm ready to remove all of the glaze off of my paddle. And now I'm ready to add glaze to my cookies. Taking my whisk, I'm going to go ahead and stir my whisk into my glaze, lift it up, and then I'm going to sprinkle it on to my cookies. And now it's time to taste our tasty treat. Ooh, blueberry muffins in the size of a cookie. I'll see you in the next one and subscribe for more.